There's a question number 3, complete a conversation with phrases in the boxes.
Okay.
The phrases in the boxes are responses of some advices.
Okay.
So, which one? So, for example, this conversation, Chris says that she wants to get back together, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Simon replied, I would take some time off work and think about it. Simon here is the person
giving the advice.
Who should give giving the advice. So what's the meaning of I would? I would take some time of work and think about, he should say of work and think about it. Instead of saying I would take someone, like if Simon would take. Yeah,
I get your point. Just a second, we have I'll get to you, just a minute. No, I think we have a new student, and he has
new student.
Yes, I think he has problems with the sound. Just let me text him. توا تسمع فينا يا إبراهيم? Can you hear us? I think you need to switch on your microphone, Ibrahim. I think you should hear us now. You're having microphone problems. Sorry to interrupt you, Naha.
You're welcome. No problem.
He disappeared. I think he should be back. And maybe he doesn't have power. So, okay, here he's back. يا إبراهيم شوف قصة المايك، أعطي البرميشن، مرات يطلب منك permission. مرات I need to write this. تسمع فينا توا يا إبراهيم؟ Can you hear us? تسمع فينا؟ Hello. شوف إعدادات البرنامج يا إبراهيم. اوكي، حاول مرة ثانية. تسمع فينا توا ولا ما تسمعش فينا مازال؟ حاول اطلع وخش من جديد وجرب برشق الايرفون. ممكن في حل، المفروض يخدم عندك عادي الصوت. Did you have any problem when you first used Zoom, Noha, or did you need to change any permissions from the settings, or just start automatically? How was it?
No, it's automatically, because each time at each lesson it asks about
Permission.
use microphone on internet or something like this.
So they ask you each time.
Yeah, each time ask you the way that you use your microphone. With or by.
Yeah, and you need to say yes. You need to accept.
Yeah, just press that icon or tap on the icon.
Yeah, I see. I don't know what's his problem, but
try to restart the meeting.
I don't think the problem.
Restart joining for him.
Yeah, I think he needs to, because it says here connecting to audio, and then it stops. Now he's connecting. He's trying to connect, but I don't know if he's okay. This might work this time, because last time it says trying to connect and it doesn't. But maybe this time it will. Maybe there's a problem with his phone. Anyways, let's get back with our topic. You were asking, why did the person give advice, who's giving advice, why did he say I would blah 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 something? Is this your question? Was this your question?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, I think with this expression, I would, here it's as if you're saying, if I were in your place, I would take some time off.
This is what, this is what I have tried to be sure about it. Yeah. I would do blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a kind of conditional. If I were you, I'd take her for a nice dinner. If I were you, I'd take some time off. If I were you, I would talk to her about it. If I were you, no. But here,
so, how come where with I were you? I was you.
Correct. Very good question. Here in this kind of hypothetical situation, we use if I were you. Grammatically, of course, with I, we always use was. We never use were. But in this situation, in this hypothetical situation, where is the correct one, actually? So in this condition, we say, if I were you, because this is like a third, is it the third one? I think it's a third conditional, third or second. It's one of them, but I think it's the third. This is an impossible situation. If I were you, because I can never be you. You get the idea. But this is how they use it. They use if I were you. If I were you, I would have done that earlier. It's a third conditional. The impossible one. If I were you, no, not third, second.
Okay, it's clear now.
Yeah, this is the idea. You're welcome. All right. Okay. Let me share the book with you. Okay. Let's see if we can solve the problem for this guy. Okay. So he's going to look for a solution. Okay, so last time we talked about, let's go back. we were talking about travel, and this was the topic of our
The tourist trade.
yeah, the tourist trade. Yeah, and we were talking about here you don't have okay. All right, so we were talking about the tourist trade. We discussed a few phrasal verbs. I think we knew all of them, maybe except for set off and to put up with. I think, yeah, these are the, and here with put up, you always use put up with. You cannot use it without the with part. So we talked about that. Okay, I think you can talk now, Ibrahim. It's solved. You're alive.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome. Akhiran, yes.
Yeah. Shukran.
Okay. Good to have you here. So welcome to the class. I was chatting yesterday, and we agreed, you and your mother and I, we agreed that maybe intermediate A is not the best one. Maybe intermediate B, it might be a little better. But this is sort of just for you to see how it is. And so you're free to stay for the whole lesson. But if you get bored anytime, you're also free to leave. But you can also get a chance to assess the sort of difficulty of the lessons or of the book. This is, and here you have your classmate with you. You can introduce yourself to her, and she's one of my old students, and she did a little bit of IELTS prep, and now she's doing some intermediate work.
Okay.
All right, so you can introduce yourself, Ibrahim. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Ibrahim Nasif Sarraj. I'm a student in university, studying right now. I want to become a communication engineer with Wi-Fi and everything. And I'm 22 years old. Yeah.
All right.
It, I think.
That's
Hi,
good.
Ibrahim.
With you all.
You're welcome.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nuha.
Well, my name is Nuha. I have graduated as a petroleum engineer since 2009. What else? I'm mother to 3 children. I've been studying English for 2 years. So I hope that I will take my level to the take my English to the next level soon.
Yeah. Hope so too. Okay. So let me just give you a quick intro, Ibrahim, to what we were talking about last lesson. This lesson is about the tourist trade. We kicked off the lesson with a few phrasal verbs referring to travel. So you have examples like, have you ever set off very early to go on holiday? Then we also have, for example, to get around, to deal with, check in, check out. Number 6. Let's see if maybe you can guess this. What do you think they mean here in number 6, exercise 1, number 6, when they say, did anyone see you off the last time you went on holiday? What do you think they're trying to say here?
ولا بالإنجليزي ولا بالعربي؟
No, in English. Everything should be in English.
Okay. Did they see him leaving? I think.
Okay, you're almost there. But what do they do when someone sees you off? You're right. So they see you the last time before you leave, right? But yeah. What usually happens, or what do they usually do when they see you off?
greet everybody and say goodbye, and I don't know.
That's it. Exactly. That's the point. It's to say goodbye. So see off is actually saying goodbye. It means someone maybe went with you to the airport or waited until you left and said goodbye. So this is see you off. And I think number 8. Can you read number 8 for us? I'm just curious to see.
Have you ever had to put up with noisy people on holiday?
Mm-hmm.
Should I answer it, or?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think they're trying to say? Or just paraphrase it, change the words in any way you want.
Did you have you ever been with someone who's noisy on a plane or a train or bus?
Okay.
Talk a lot and try.
Okay. So yes, it means the first part is right. It means you were in contact with this noisy person. That's correct. This part is right. But what do you think they're trying to say exactly when you say put up with? You think is it just being with or located with this person, or maybe something else?
Located, I think, because when you, for example, when you travel with an airplane, sometimes you get the person who's sitting next to you, he's kind of annoying.
Okay, correct.
Talk a lot and doesn't mind his own business, I think.
Okay, that's right. And so you have to put up with him, right?
Yeah.
So what does it mean you have to put up with him? You have to put up with this person.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it in English, but
okay, for example,
just kind of telling him to stay on his side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, just to sort of keep him under control, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, that's sort of almost there. Yeah. Here, to be more specific, put up with is usually to tolerate someone. Not tolerate, but tolerate might be okay. It means you can't really do anything about it because you're stuck with this person on a flight or on a train ride, and he's next to you, just like you said. So you can't do anything about it, but you have to just wait until it's over. You have to go through this bad experience. You have no real control over it.
You can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it. This is exactly what it means. Put up with.
Okay.
It's when you're stuck in a situation with someone and you can't do anything about it. You just have to take it until it's over. This is the I think the rest of them are you probably can guess them easily. So we covered this part last time. We talked about these phrasal verbs which are related to travel, and now we have a listening exercise. Okay, so here in this listening exercise, we want to look at photos of Megan and Clive. So this is Megan on some kind of hiking tour guide in Banff, Canada. And we have Clive, who's a hotel manager, the Lake District in the UK. So they're going to tell us a little bit about their jobs. So we want to answer these questions. Of course, we need to listen first, but let me see the next page. Is there? No, there's no other photo. So these are the only 2 photos. So let me go to the listening track and just where is it? And let's listen to this. Okay, so we need track 19. Okay, so we only want the first 2 questions, then we'll do the rest.
Track 19.
I'm a guide for a company.
Okay, sorry, let me repeat that. Okay, so let's read the questions first. It's always a good idea to read the questions before you listen. So number 1, do they like their jobs? I think it's an easy question. What problems do they have in their jobs? So let's see this first part and then we can do the rest.
Track 19.
I'm a guide for a company that organizes hiking tours in the Rocky Mountains in Canada. I'm actually American, not Canadian, but I've lived in this country for about 3 years, and I really love working here. I've worked in the USA and in Europe, and I really enjoyed my time there too, but for me, there's nowhere like the Canadian Rockies. A lot of our customers have been hiking before, but when they get back to the hotel, they often say it's the best experience they've ever had, which is very satisfying. It's not always an easy job. You have to deal with difficult weather conditions, and sometimes it can be quite dangerous. Also, I have to put up with a few people who do stupid things. For example, 3 days ago, a guy set off on his own into the mountains without telling anyone. He got lost, then fell and broke his leg. Luckily, he had GPS on his phone and we were able to rescue him. Actually, I've just been to Banff to pick him up from the hospital. He can't do any more hiking, of course, but at least he'll have a good story to tell his friends when he gets back home.
My wife and I started working in the hotel industry 19 years ago, but this is the first time we've run a hotel in a touristy place like the Lake District. We've had this place since 2008, and I'm a bit fed up with it, to be honest. Running a tourist hotel is quite stressful, particularly when people complain about things. It can be difficult for tourists to get around in the summer because of all the cars, but I don't know why they complain to me about it. Also, some people think they can check in and out whenever they want. We have to clean the rooms, of course, so if guests don't check out on time, it makes life very difficult for us. Another problem is that one of us always has to be here. For example, my wife's gone to see some friends off at Manchester Airport, so I have to stay and look after the hotel. And because we're open all year, it's difficult for us to have a holiday together. We've been away a few times, but each time there was a problem at the hotel, so we had to come back early. But this December, we're closing the hotel and going to South America. We're really looking forward to it.
Okay, so don't worry, we'll get a chance to hear this again for the second part of the question. But for now, let's do the general questions first. So,
Okay.
do they like their jobs?
For Megan, yes.
Yeah,
But,
Megan, she loves like her job, but Cleve, I think he doesn't like his job because
yeah,
it's
fed up.
stressful and
Okay, so that's the first question. Yes, so in a short answer, Megan, she likes it, and Clive, not so much. But let's see the second question. What problems do both of them have? Let's start with Megan. Okay, Brahim, you can do the Megan part, and we'll leave Clive to know how. Okay, what do you think, Brahim?
about Megan, the problems she has when the people doesn't listen about instructions and leave, for example, they go hiking alone. So it's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did she talk about any other issues?
Actually, I didn't catch what she said. So.
All right. Okay, that's good enough. What about Clive now? What do you think?
Clive has a problem with clients.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first problem with clients that they are blaming for something they are not when they are not satisfying about it. Also, some people think that they can make check-in anytime they want, so that's very annoying for that. And when they are also for check-out, they have to make it on time, so they need to clean the rooms. That's all this stuff make it difficult, make it running a hotel difficult for and very stressful for Cliff. Also, he has a problem with that they cannot go away or have a long time holidays, because they have to stay and take care of their business, because they are opening all the year. So I think that's all.
All right. Okay. I think you covered almost all of it. Okay. Okay. So now let's see the second question. Now we have more details, but let's try to answer this part. Of course, if we're not sure, we can always listen and confirm. But let's start with this question. It says, who said these sentences, Megan or Clive? All right. So the first one, what do you think? Who said this one?
Megan. For A, Megan said that, because she's American, not Canadian.
Okay, so let's write M in front of it. So this is Megan. So here we go. All right, maybe this M is a little too big. Okay, what about the next one?
It's clear, Clive.
Clive,
okay. Yeah, right, yes, because he's the owner of the hotel, correct? Yeah. So Clive, okay. What about the next one?
Clive too.
Okay, so again, yeah, Clive, he's the one talking about this problem. Let me write C in front of C. Come on, okay. Oh, and what about D?
Megan.
Yeah, this
Megan, yeah.
This is the problem Ibrahim mentioned of that stupid hiker who went on his own. All right. Okay. Now, what about the next one here, E?
I guess it's Megan, because
she's an American and she's right now in Canada, I think.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so this is Megan.
Clive.
Okay.
F.
Yes.
Clive.
I agree with you. Megan.
Yeah, Megan. Yeah, it's about the stupid hiker.
Oh, okay.
My wife gone. Clive.
Yes, because he talked about his wife.
Well, yeah.
Seeing off a friend in the airport. All right. Okay. Now let's see the second part of the question. Let's see if we can put these in the order we hear them. Okay. We can listen again, of course, to confirm this, but let's give it a try. Let's just guess first. Of course, in the recording, we heard Megan. She was the one who spoke first, right? So this means maybe this could help you. You should start with the M's first. These will naturally be before the C's, before Clive. But we also want to put the parts that she said. We want to put them in order again. So let's try to do this, okay? And then we can confirm and see if the order is right or not. So here we have, I've worked in the USA and in Europe, blah, blah, blah. Then we have 3 days ago, I've lived in this country. Sorry, and the last one, I've just been to Banff to pick him up from the airport. All right, so which is number 1, which is 2, which is 3, which is 4?
G number 4, clear.
Yeah.
G number 4?
A number 1.
Okay, let's put G number 4. So G is, let's put them here next to each other. So G is number 4. And A is number 1, you said.
Yeah.
Brahim. Okay. So A is number 1.
I don't think so.
You don't?
I don't think so. I don't think that A is number 1.
What do you think? Let's write both answers and see who's right.
I think I've lived in this country for about 3 years. This is the first one. I think. I'm not sure about Rahim's answer.
So you think E is the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote both answers so we can see when we listen.
Yeah, we can check.
What about the second and the third sentence?
This is the third one. Number A, the third one for me, and D is no. A is 2. A, I've worked in the USA, is 2. It's after I've lived, okay? And for 3 days ago, it's number 3.
3 days
D,
ago.
3.
Where's 3 days ago?
D.
D.
D is number 3 for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. A is number 2.
A is number 2. And D is number 3. D is number 3. And what about 4, Noha? So your answers are in the bottom here.
Yeah.
And which one is 4?
G. I've just been to pick him up for the...
But what about at the beginning you told me, you said this, you still have number 1. What's the first one?
Number 1?
Mm-hmm.
The first one is
E, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are your answers. And
Yeah.
Ibrahim, which of these do you agree with and which of them you disagree with?
I agree about G, it's number 4. And 3, it's D.
Okay, so you also agree with 3D.
Yeah, but I disagree about A and B.
So this means...
I think number 1 is A and number 2 is E.
All right. Okay. All right, so we have both your answers. So your answers, Ibrahim, are on the top. Okay. And Noha is your answers at the bottom. Let's see. And the loser buys me a chocolate. Okay. All right, so let's listen again. Let's see.
Track 19.
I'm a guide for a company that organizes hiking tours in the Rocky Mountains in Canada. I'm actually American, not Canadian, but I've lived in this country for about 3 years, and I really love working here. I've worked in the USA and in Europe, and I really enjoyed my time there too, but...
Okay.
I'm the winner.
Okay. So, Brian, you need to buy some chocolate.
Yeah.
For me, there's nowhere like the Canadian Rockies. A lot of our customers have been hiking before, but when they get back to the hotel, they often say it's the best experience they've ever had, which is very satisfying. It's not always an easy job. You have to deal with difficult weather conditions, and sometimes it can be quite dangerous. Also, I have to put up with a few people who do stupid things. For example, 3 days ago, a guy set off on his own into the mountains without telling anyone. He got lost, then fell and broke his leg. Luckily, he had GPS on his phone and we were able to rescue him. Actually, I've just been to Banff to pick him up from the hospital. He can't do any more hiking, of course, but at least he'll have a good story to tell his friends when he gets back home.
Okay, so this way we checked all the answers for Megan. All right, okay. So I think the only problem, the only wrong answer you had, Ibrahim, was the first point and the last point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, okay. So let's see our guesses for Clive. Oops.
Track 19.
Sorry.
I'm a guide.
I think I can bring them back. Okay. So so here let's write the answers Let's see what you think about Clive. So let's start with Noha this time. What do you think? What's the first thing that Clive said?
First thing, my wife and I started working in the hotel industry 19 years ago. So number C.
Okay, so the first one is C. Second one?
Second one, F.
Mm-hmm.
We have had this place since 2008.
Okay.
Let me say about number 3. Well, number 3, I've been away a few times, but each time. I think it's B.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Because number H, it should be an example for what he said in number B. I have been away a few times. Each time there was a problem at the hotel. For example, my wife and I. H, number 4.
Okay, so H is the last one. All right. Yeah. What do you think, Brahim? How many of these do you?
Same.
Okay. So you don't want to risk another chocolate this time?
No, because it's true. Not about risking anything.
Okay.
Don't be afraid, Brahim. I don't like chocolate very much.
Okay. So Ibrahim, it means same answers. All right. Okay. Let's confirm this. Let's listen to the track, and let's see.
For a company that organizes hiking tours in the Rocky Mountains in Canada. I'm actually American, not Canadian, but I have a few people who come up from the hospital. He can't do any more hiking, of course, but at least he'll have a good story to tell his friends when he gets back home.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I started working in the hotel industry 19 years ago, but this is the first time we've run a hotel in a touristy place like the Lake District. We've had this place since 2008, and I'm a bit fed up with it, to be honest. Running a tourist hotel is quite stressful, particularly when people complain about things. It can be difficult for tourists to get around in the summer because of all the cars, but I don't know why they complain to me about it. Also, some people think they can check in and out whenever they want. We have to clean the rooms, of course, so if guests don't check out on time, it makes life very difficult for us. Another problem is that one of us always has to be here. For example, my wife's gone to see some friends off at Manchester Airport, so I have to stay and look after the hotel. And because we're open all year, it's difficult for us to have a holiday together. We've been away a few times, but each time there was a problem at the hotel, so we had to come back early. But this December, we're closing the hotel and going to South America. We're really looking forward to it.
Okay.
So both of you are mistaken this time.
Yeah.
I think it's this means B is the last one, right?
B is the last.
Mm-hmm. So B was the last one, and this means that H is the one before last, right?
Yeah, the opposite, yeah.
Yeah. C and F, I think, are correct the way they are. Or are they not correct?
What?
I think FC, not CF, right? Did he say?
No, it was C. The first thing, C.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and F is the second. Yeah, we were right.
Okay. So only the number 3 and 4 need to be switched.
Switched. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So here you can see this type of exercise is there is a bit of detail. They need you to pay a little bit of attention, but I think we've done a good job. Okay, let's move on to our next exercise. Let's do a little bit of grammar. So in exercise 3 here, we're going to talk about the present perfect simple. Of course, you're all familiar with the present perfect simple. It's not a new thing. We've been using this since elementary B, I think. But here we have a few more details, maybe, which they want us to be aware of. So let's read the question. It says, look at the sentences in number 2B again. So this is number 2B. So these are the sentences they're talking about. We were just there, so I don't think we need to look too much. But just a second, let me see if I can display both pages next to each other. If we're lucky, okay, fantastic. Let me zoom in a little bit. This way, both parts, since they're related, can appear at the same time. Maybe I need to zoom out. Okay, by the way, there's a tip, Ibrahim, here for you.
Yeah.
Whenever I zoom out too much and it becomes too small on your screen, just zoom in with your fingers.
Yeah, just figured it out.
Yeah, you figured it out? Did it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So because sometimes you might need to move from one place to another. Okay, so so here you might need to move a little bit from 3 to number 1, since the questions, the rules we're going to complete here are based, I think, on number 2, on the examples that we just finished in number 2. Okay, so let's start with the first point. So it says, then complete these rules with present perfect simple or past simple. Which sentences in 2B match each rule? Okay, so this means we have 4 rules, and these 4 rules are divided over past simple and past perfect simple. So we want to make some kind of comparison between the past perfect simple and the past simple. Let's start with the first rule. So it says we use the, of course, we don't know what they're talking about, if it's past perfect simple or past perfect, for experiences that happened sometime before now, but we don't know or don't say when they happened. I think it's already clear to you now. To give more information about an experience, we use the, all right, what do you think?
Present
Past
perfect.
simple.
No, present perfect.
Okay, we have 2 gaps. Which one is?
Use the experience of sometime before now. That's simple, I think.
Okay, for the first gap is for sure present perfect.
Okay, why?
Because we don't know or don't say when they happened. There's no time phrase. So
Okay.
it's present perfect, it's clear. You can't use past simple without time phrase, without say last week, last year, 2 hours, in this morning, etc. Okay? To give more information about an experience, we use the, I'm not sure about it, but maybe past simple. Because when you are telling a story.
Okay, I'm not going to give you the answer yet.
It will be in the past simple, yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's what's usually happen. So I'm not sure, but let's say past simple.
Okay.
But for number 1, I'm sure present perfect.
Okay, can you find an example from 2B where this rule applies, or where you saw this?
Okay. I've worked in the USA and in Europe, and I really enjoyed my time there too. The first part was present perfect. She didn't mention any time phrase when she worked in the USA and in Europe and blah blah blah. And in the second part, I really enjoyed. She described her feeling with past simple. So really enjoyed my time there too.
Okay, okay, sort of makes sense here. All right, so maybe that's right. Maybe let's write your answer and let's see if it might be correct when we confirm it. So let's say present perfect simple. What about, and the second one you said past simple. What about the second rule? What do you think?
Past simple.
Do you agree with her, Ibrahim? Do you think that's right?
Yeah, that's the past.
Okay. And what do you think the key is here in the second rule?
The word when.
Correct. So here there's some kind of specificity, right? It's specific.
Yeah.
They're telling you when.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the third rule?
Present perfect. It's clear.
Present perfect, yeah.
Can you find an example of one of these things that applies to this rule? An example from two.
General example or?
No, not general. From the examples we have here in 2B.
Okay. Okay. I've lived in this country for about 3 years.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. So this started in the past, and it's still true today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this makes sense. Now, what about the last rule?
We use that for something that happened a short time ago. Present perfect.
Why? Why did you? And what's the key here? Or where's the
key? Don't say exactly when.
You're right. This is the key. We don't say exactly when. All right. So you think this is the present perfect, but which example do you think shows or illustrates this rule the best? Which of these examples in 2B?
My wife has gone to see some friends off at Manchester Airport.
Okay, this is okay, but there's one that's even a little better, I think.
I have just been to bank to pick him up from the hospital.
I think this is a little better, right? Because we have the expression just. I've just been. Yeah. So this sort of, I think, emphasizes the part that it's something recent, right? A short time ago.
Short time ago, yeah. I've just,
Okay, I think I agree with your answers, but we still have a chance to confirm it, so don't worry if we got any of these wrong. What about B? In the second part of the question, they want us to make positive sentences, negative sentences, and questions using the present perfect simple. So this is just a grammatical form question, okay? We can use some of the examples at the bottom, or we can just think of simple examples on our own, okay? So maybe Noha, you can do a positive example, Brahim can do a negative example, and maybe one of you can do a WH question, and another one can do a yes/no question using present perfect.
Okay, we have been away a few times, but each time there was a problem at the hospital.
Okay, so very good. You've just chosen some of the examples from the bottom. Okay, we've been away a few times. So this is a good example of a positive sentence. Okay, and if it's negative? Okay, let's give Brahim a chance. Yeah. How would we make this negative?
I don't know, actually. I forgot about it.
Okay, give it a try, even if you're not sure.
Which sentence?
So the example that we wrote here in the box, we've been away a few times. So if you want to break it down, so we've been, what is this? We've is a contraction for what?
I don't know.
Okay, so we and have, if you put them together, they become we've, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually we have been. Yeah, we have been away a few times. Now, what if we want to make this into negative? We just need to add one tiny little word, right? That's made of 3 letters.
We haven't.
Right. So all you need to do is add not. And since we want to contract, which is always better when speaking the language, we could just say, can you repeat it again? You just gave me the answer. Can you say it again?
We haven't.
That's it. We haven't been away a few times. All right, so this means we have a negative. All right. Okay, your turn now. Can you give us a WH question, for example?
Okay. WH question, present perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been?
All right, yeah, simplest example. Where have you been? All right. What about a yes/no question? Rahim, can you think of a yes/no question?
Yes, no question.
So a yes/no question means the answer, I'll give you the answer, okay? So
Yeah.
I want you to make a question for these two answers.
Okay. Yes, they have.
So these are the only two answers you can make for the question that you need to make.
Okay. Do they have money, or I don't know?
Okay, if you say, do they have money? I will answer you, yes, they do. No, they don't.
Have they got their phones?
All right, that's a good one. Have they? Okay, it's technically it's correct, but I'll tell you why it's not what we want. But let me write your question. Have they got their phones? Have they got their phones? So it's correct. The answer is correct. Yes, they have. No, they haven't. But you sort of used, you asked me a possessive question. You asked me about their possessions, if they possess a phone, if they have a phone or not. Do you get the idea? It's not wrong, but it's not a present perfect question.
Have they had?
Okay. Have they had what?
Their phones. Got. I don't know.
Why not ask for experience like the first question?
What?
In your WH question, what did you ask about?
Where have you been?
Okay, so ask something like this in a yes/no question.
Where?
And I'll write you the answer, okay? So the answer should be, yes, I have. Or maybe if you ask me about a place, I will say, no, I haven't. So what's the question that made me say, yes, I have?
Have you graduated yet?
Good question. Have you, it's an experience question, yes. Have you graduated? Graduated yet? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Another one about experiences. Have you been to Canada? Have you been to Canada? I would say, yes, I have, or no, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
So you're asking me also about an experience here, right? And this is the have you been to Canada is sort of closer to the first example we've used. Okay, so now that we have some good examples, let's just talk about the form. So we start with we, which is a subject. Then we use have as an auxiliary. Then we use the past participle, right? So any verb in the past participle, and that's it. So this is how we make a positive sentence. So we use subject, the subject pronoun, which is I, you, we, they, he, she, it, whatever. Then we use have, then we use the past participle of the verb. So have you eaten? Have you written? Have you ridden? Have you visited? Have you graduated? Have you listened? Have you watched?
Excuse me, I have a question. Why don't you say, have you gone to Canada? Why you say, have you been to Canada? Have you been to Lebanon or any other? Why don't you say just that?
All right. I think one of the main reasons is because this is probably more commonly used, to be honest. Have you been? And when you say have you been, they're sort of emphasizing experience, because if they're interested in detail, they'll just say, did you go to Canada? And you would say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. But here we're talking about travel as an experience. Maybe they're not interested when you've been there. They don't care when you went, I mean. So they don't ask you the time exactly. So they just say, have you been? Have you gone? I've gone there. I don't know. It sounds a little. Usually gone, they use it in a sense for something which has disappeared. He's gone. So you get the idea. So he's gone. He's not here anymore. He's disappeared. He's gone. He's left. He has left. So that's why maybe. But it's very rare. I haven't heard the example. Have you gone to Canada? It's a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Been is very common. Have you been? Have you been? And actually, because one of the ways we conjugate go, went, been, or go, went, gone. So the go can be been and can be gone, right? And the same thing for verb to be. So I am, I was, I've been. So been works for both.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is just the form. It's just a grammar form question. They just want to know. And if it's negative, we just add the not, have plus not, plus the past participle. And of course, if it's a yes/no question, we just switch the order. We put have before the subject. So we would say have subject. For example, have you been, and so on. So this is what they really want here. All right, so we can move on. Oops. All right, now let's check part C. It says, look at the sentences E to H. Okay, I think maybe we'll talk a little bit about your question here, the one about gone and been in part C. So let's read the examples they highlighted. They want us to read E to H, okay? So the last 4 examples from exercise 2B. So let me read the first one for you. I've lived in this country for about 3 years, okay? We've had this place since 2008. I've just been to Banff to pick him up from the hospital. My wife's gone to see some friends off at the Manchester airport. Okay.
Look,
yeah.
Look at number H.
Yes.
My wife has gone.
All right. So
yeah, because he didn't travel. Yeah.
Also because there's another extra point. Very good. One of them is she didn't travel, and there's another point that we'll try to discover together. So what's the difference between for and since? I think for and since is easy, not too difficult to guess, but let's do that first. Okay, maybe you can give Ibrahim a chance here. So Ibrahim, can you check E here? I've lived in this country for 3 years and we've had this place since 2008. So what's the difference between using for and using since, in your opinion?
Using for is exactly how many years, I think, how many kind of thing, for sure.
Okay, you're right about this, because even in the example, they've given us the number of years, right?
Exactly, yeah, it's about 3
Okay.
years. So you know how many years has been. I think I don't know how to say it.
All right, fair enough. It's a good enough question. Okay, answer. What about F when we used since? We've had this place since 2008.
I don't know. Since I don't know.
Okay, so the first one we used the number of years, right?
Yeah.
But the second one, what did we use after since?
The date, year date, I think.
Okay, so we used the starting year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can do the calculation. So we're in 2020, so this means 12 years.
Years, yeah.
So this means if we want to change F and we want to make it 4, how would you change the sentence F? Instead of using since, I'd like you to use 4. How would you change it?
It will be, we have this place for 12 years.
Right, exactly, yes. And if you want to change the example E, if you want to change it instead of 4, use since. How would you do it?
I have lived in this country for, since 2017.
Exactly right. That's it. And this is the answer, okay? So this is the only difference between 4 and since. If you're using 4, we want the number of years. If you're using since, you give us the starting year of this action, of when this started. All right, okay. Now your turn, Naha. Now the been and gone. What do you think? Tell me the difference between G and H.
I have just been to pick him up from the hospital. Let's say if she said, I've just gone to Banff to pick him up from the hospital. Okay, I was gone to see some friends off. Honestly, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just guess.
I can't pick a difference.
Okay. What about Ibrahim? What do you think? Do you think there's any difference, or if there is a difference, what is the difference?
Between what? Between G and what?
Between G and H. Because in G,
H,
we used been. I've just been to Banff, which is a city, okay? Any city. I've just been to Benghazi to pick him up, or to Misrata, or whatever. And H, my wife's gone to see off some friends at Manchester Airport. Why did we use been in the first example in G, and why did we use gone in the second one?
Okay. I have been to pick him up.
Maybe, sorry, Ibrahim, sorry.
لا. عادي.
What do you think?
I have been to Banana to pick him up. My wife gone. Maybe because it's G, he was talking about. She's just talking about herself, and H, Cliff, he was talking about his wife. I don't know.
Okay, it's a very good guess. This might be right. Okay, so in G, this is one of the differences. At least you've spotted a major difference. In G, the girl, Megan, she was speaking about herself and part of her experience, maybe. But in H, Clive isn't speaking about himself. He's speaking about his wife, maybe. Okay, what do you think, Noam?
Maybe if I change the sentence, I was there to pick him up from the hospital. So when I change it to the present perfect, I have to say I have just been, or I have been there.
Okay.
I've been to that place, okay? So she's talking about their being in that area, not how to go there. Not by the mean of going there or... So the other sentence, it implicates the meaning of going or walking to the place. So
you're trying to say in part G, there's more emphasis on picking up the person rather than going to the city. And here maybe there's more emphasis on going to the airport instead of seeing off friends. Is this what you're trying to say, maybe?
Not in the question, but I would like to say that he is telling us that yeah, she wants to emphasize on their place that I don't know how to say it in English, but in Arabic maybe I can convey my meaning better.
But you can't in Arabic. You're sort of you're stuck with English.
Okay, I stuck. Yeah.
Okay, try to do it in simple, very simple, plain, basic English. What are you trying to say?
Well,
without grammatical words, just your point.
Well, as you said in the last few minutes about the explanation of the difference between when you have been to some place, you have an experience or you have been there, so you, like when you say I was there, so not how to go there or kada. But in the next example, my wife has gone to see some friends, so if we change the sentence, we can say my wife went to see some friends off. Did you get the idea?
Yeah, I get your point. This might be right because here you're trying to say that with part G, maybe they're not emphasizing the trip so much as the event or the purpose of the trip, maybe, which is saving or picking up the stupid hiker. But with H, maybe we're emphasizing the trip itself, that maybe he's trying to say, Clive, he's complaining that his wife is not currently here. She's gone to the airport, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a curious issue. I think we can check this for sure on page 133. But before we do, I think we need to finish at least the next part so we don't end up reading the answer before we check them. But let's underline the good, the been and gone part, since this is where we had our debate. Okay, so this means we haven't finished the been and gone part. We haven't decided on it yet. All right, let's leave it and come back to it in the answers. Now, part D. Which of these words, phrases, can we use with the present perfect simple, and which of these do we use for the past simple? All right, so every tense, as you know, has its own time phrases. With the continuous, we have words like now, at the moment. With the future, we have next week, next month, next year, and so on. So here you have a mix, sort of different time phrases grouped together. So they want you to decide which of these can we put with the present perfect simple, which of these can we put with the past simple. This is the question. What about never?
Present perfect.
Yeah.
Can we use it with the past simple?
The past simple. I'm not sure. I never went there. I've never been there.
Which sounds
I'm
better?
not sure, maybe. Present perfect.
Okay, I agree, yes. I think it's with the present perfect, it's a lot better with never. I've never been there, or I've never tried sushi. It's better than saying I never ate sushi. Because when you say I never ate sushi, you're just talking about something, an action that's finished, and your life is not finished yet. Maybe you'll eat it tomorrow. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You can't use it in this sense. All right, so let's use, let's put PPS for present perfect. Okay, let's just use a line instead, easier. So for the present perfect, we'll just use a tick. What about a go?
Past simple.
Okay, can you give me an example with a go?
I'm 22 years old. Sorry, yeah. Go.
We started our lesson 1.5 hours.
1 hour ago.
Yes,
ago.
correct. Okay, so this means past simple, so we won't tick it. What about ever?
Present perfect.
Can you give me an example? It's right, but I'd like to hear an example.
Have you ever seen a lion?
Correct. Have you ever seen a lion? All right. Recently?
Present perfect.
Okay. Any examples?
Recently.
Recently, I have had.
I got my email.
Sorry.
Okay, let's hear both examples.
Recently, I have had trouble sleeping.
Okay, but is it a good idea to start with recently, or maybe?
I don't know. At the end, it should be at the end. I guess.
Okay, can you try it at the end?
I have trouble. I've had trouble sleeping recently.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds correct. Okay, what's your example, Brian?
Recently, I got my email about such a name.
All right, so you've also started with recently in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. What about lately?
Well, the electronic trade has become what?
More advanced.
Okay.
More advanced, yeah, lately.
Okay, sounds about right. So let's use it for present perfect. What about before?
Present simple.
Before past simple, I guess.
Okay, can you give me an example?
I didn't
Before
work.
this,
Okay.
you start.
I didn't wake up before 9 o'clock.
Okay, I don't know. It sounds a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your example, Brian? Let's see.
Before this lesson, I was playing video games.
Okay, but here you kind of used this lesson as a fixed time in history or in time, and you use the past continuous. I was playing. Before this lesson, I was playing. But can you use before with an example with any of the regular past tense verbs like played, ate, studied, watched?
Before it's consequence word. I don't think it's time phrase. Before.
Okay, let's leave it. But it is actually. So let's underline it because we're not done with it yet. What about in 1997?
You can say I haven't tried this before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what did you use when you did this?
Present perfect.
All right. So I think I can agree with you now. So with this means before is more suitable for the present perfect because you can't really use it in the past tense. With words with sequences, yes, but with sequences it means you have more than one sentence. So I went there. So before I went there, I took my dog, sorry, and after that we met with his friend. So you're telling a narrative. If you're using more than one sentence and you're using some kind of narrative, yes, you can use it in this sense. But here we want to use it as a time phrase, not as a sequence word. Not like then and after that and so and firstly. We don't want to use it as a sequence word. I think in 1997 is sort of obvious, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, Ibrahim. What do you think? 1997. In 1997.
He was born in 1997.
For example, okay. Any other example? Your example is right, by the way. Yes.
Okay.
So.
This. لا.
Okay, tell me something you did in 1997. Were you born in 1997?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you something I did in 1997. In 1997, okay, no, that was in 1999. But in 1997, I had a fight with my friend when I was in primary school in 1997. So I had a fight. So here, actually what they're trying to say, let me connect the 2 points. In 1997 is exactly what we're, where is it? The second rule. Can you read the second rule in the rule part in 3A? Do you see the second rule?
Second rule. We use فراغ to say when something happened.
And so the faragh is, can you see
present simple?
Past
yeah.
Simple. The past simple.
Past, yeah.
Yeah. So the key is of course the word when. So the past simple is a tense that's famous for being specific, right? Because the past simple always talks about one-time actions. This is the nature of past simple. You talk about a one-time action in a point in the past. So you need to be specific about it. So last week, I woke up tired today. So today I'm referring to the past. Last week I had spaghetti. 2 months ago, I started a new job. So here specificity is one of the key markers of the past simple. And this is exactly the opposite thing with the present perfect. The present perfect is not a specific tense. It never really tells you, unless you use it with since or for. If you use it with since and for, it becomes specific because you've started it in the past and the action is still going on until the moment of speaking now. Like the examples, we've had this place since 2008. So the action has been going on since 2008. It's still been going on. All right, so past simple. This week,
Past simple.
again, the same thing. Last week,
The same.
the same. So actually, these three are the same because they're too specific to be used with the present perfect. The whole purpose of the present perfect is we don't want to be too specific. Just
present perfect.
right. So just is one of the time phrases which are famously used or commonly used with present perfect. At 10 o'clock, again, a specific time.
Past simple.
Past simple, right. Yet.
Present present.
Perfect.
Yeah, present.
Yeah.
Present perfect.
The present perfect. So I haven't been there yet. So when I say I haven't been there yet, I'm planning to go sometime in the future. The action is not over. Just because I haven't been there yet, it doesn't mean I'm not going to go in the future. There's a very big chance I will. You get the idea? So yet shows that up to the moment of speaking, this is yet.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, things might change. So the perfect is much better. Already?
Present perfect.
Again, yes, that's correct. All right, so we still, like I said, we still have a chance to confirm all of this. Now, look at this sentence, then to choose the correct form in the rule. Okay, so we have a sentence and we want to match the correct verb form in the rule. So it says here, this is the first time we've run a hotel in a touristy place like Lake District. So the rule says after this is the first time, this is the second time, do we use the present simple or do we use so here we have a change. It's not the past simple now. We're talking about the present simple. Do we use the present simple or do we use the present perfect simple? I think it's easy. Just look at the expression. So
yeah, we have present perfect.
Yes, present perfect. Present perfect. Because what they want you to do is, okay, I have to mention that the question is phrased a little stupidly, but
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're not helping us at all. And now this is what they're really asking us about. So we have this expression. This is the first time, okay? So this is the expression they're asking about. So they're just asking you, what do we use after an expression like this? This is the first time I, or this is the first time he, this is the first time we. So whatever the subject is, so let's use this because this is, I think, an important little tip. Let's do it in our own example. So if I use this expression or this phrase, let's call it a phrase. This is the first time I, and the verb is no. Who's tried sushi before? Rahim, have you tried sushi?
No.
Me?
Naha, have you?
No, have never.
Both of you haven't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So imagine. So tomorrow, imagine you try sushi for the first time. So it would be really the first time if you try it tomorrow, for example.
Yeah.
So now you're eating and you're expressing this new experience. So how do you say it?
This is the first time I have sushi.
What do you think? No.
This is the first time I have tried sushi.
You can say tried, but here
I've had sushi.
Okay, so I tricked you here because there's one have that comes with the auxiliary anyways, okay?
I've had sushi.
Yes. Or I'm going to also write the example you said because that's also correct. Right? And what would be a good question for this? What did I ask you before we did this exercise? What did I tell you?
Have you ever tried sushi before?
Exactly, because even my question was in the present perfect. Have you ever tried sushi? And I could have said, have you ever had sushi? Maybe tried is a little better for food. And have you ever tried sushi? So you could answer me in one of those two ways and it would be correct. This is the first time I've had sushi. This is the first time I've tried sushi. All right. So this is what the question really wants. They're just asking us about this expression, the expression of this is the first time. So they're just telling us what should you use, what verb form comes after this expression. And the answer is we need the present perfect. Okay? So we need the present perfect after this expression. So whenever you want to say, this is the first time you need to use the present perfect. This is the first time I've tried this game. It's amazing. What is this? This is the first time I've been to Canada. So when you arrive in the airport and you look around you and you're not in Libya anymore, I mean, I hope this happens for all of us. So this is what you could say. You could say, this is the first time I've been to Canada. But if you've been there before, if you visited a country and, for example, you're traveling with a friend and you go to Tunisia, for example, you've been to Tunisia, you could say, this is the fourth time I've been to Tunisia. It's not the first time you've done this. But the expression itself, this is the first time, this is the second time, this expression needs the present perfect after it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so this means we can just say present perfect. All right?
Yeah.
And you can see it in the example. This is the first time we have run. So this is our answer. This is the first time we've run a hotel. This is the first time we've run a hotel. So we have run. All right, so now let's check the summary for all of this. And let's check the issue with been and gone, so we can confirm this. We can learn a little bit about it. And let's see if we've made any mistakes. So we need to go to page 133, which means 134 probably. Okay, so let's clean the page. What page is this? We need 133. Okay, 133. Let's switch back to the one-page view. Maybe it's better now. All right, so let's take a look. Let's start with okay, so this is let's start with the gone, been and gone. Okay, take a look at this. Nahan, tell us what you get from these two rules. So this is the first rule. This is the one I told you about. That go you can do it in two ways. It has two past
Two past
participles.
participles, been
Yeah.
and gone.
Been and gone. Mhm.
But this is the first time I have known that.
You didn't know about this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because always I've always read it in the books as if it has just one.
No,
I don't know.
no, because been can also be used for verb to be. I am,
Yeah.
I was, I've been. But you can
Yeah.
also use it for go. So go, went, gone, go, went, been.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gone, went. Okay. We use been to mean go and come back. I've just been to Banff to pick him up from the hospital. Okay. They use been here by the mean of go.
Mhm.
Just been to Banff. Okay. I'm back at the place I started from now. Okay. Mm-hmm. We is going to mean go, but not come back yet. When you use it as a gone. My wife has gone to see some friends off at Manchester Airport. She's not back yet. Aha. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gone is what you see in the movies when you have, for example, a child where their parents leave them. So they'll say, oh, my mother's gone, or my father's
Mhm.
gone. Or so here it maybe they left them and they're not coming back. He's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and we also use this in to talk about, for example, people who have passed away or people who are not in our lives. He's gone. So he's the person, she's not alive
Or
anymore.
maybe for the
She's
immigrants one.
They're gone. Whenever something is not coming back, but sometimes it
Yeah.
can come back, like this example. So when he says his wife's gone, she's going to come
Mhm.
back, but at the moment of speaking, she's not back yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was talking about her, she wasn't there. He was actually complaining. He says, I'm stuck here because my wife's gone to the airport. She's not back. So you can also use it in a more softer sense than the serious death sense. You can use it, for example, where's your brother? He's gone to the supermarket and you're waiting because you can't leave the
Yeah.
house until he comes back. So he's gone to the supermarket. He's not here yet. That's why been is so good for experiences. Because when you say, I've been to Italy, you're not in Italy now. You've been and come back. You've experienced Italy, but now you're back in Libya, stuck with the rest of it, right? So been is good for experiences to go and come back.
That's really valuable information, actually.
Yes, this one is useful, especially for me, because I've always used gone, like finally. So I never put the option when I say gone. I usually mean it in the sense that there is no coming back. But apparently you can use it even for someone who's coming back. Maybe not yet at the moment of speaking. So it's not as final as I thought, because usually I use it in a very final way. He's gone, like we say in Libya, bah, خلاص, bah. So yeah, but it seems that you don't have to be so black, so dark. The person can come back. All right, and been is clear, and I think the other points we agreed on the other points. So adverbs and time phrases. Okay, so the present perfect, never, ever, recently, lately, before, this week, just, yet, already. So this week can be used in the present perfect as well.
Recently.
Yeah, this week, present perfect.
This week.
Yeah, because we put it with the past simple. So it's an optional expression. Do you see? Let me zoom out a little bit so the whole thing can appear. Okay, so take a look at these. Take a few minutes, okay? This is worth reading. Just a few minutes. So start from adverbs and time phrases. Oops. Let me stop moving the page. All right. So take a look very quickly at these points and then take a look at the tip. it has some useful information.
Oh, this week, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So all the others is I haven't, no doubt that yeah, I'm really sure about it, but this week, like this morning, I think we can use it with past simple. It's not definite time, but I have heard that many times.
Okay, the tip at the bottom, if you read the tip, this answers your question, actually, in a very nice way. Check the last tip.
We also used present perfect simple this week, month, year, this morning, this afternoon. It's still that time of day. Have you seen Bob this morning? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's clear now.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. It's a very small difference that it's a little change in grammar that makes a big difference, right? Because if you say have you seen Ahmed, for example, have you seen Ahmed today? It means today is not over yet, or maybe it's still in the beginning of the day. You can still you can still catch up and see him, right? So if someone asks you a question with have you done that, have you seen that, and the person maybe knows that you haven't, so maybe there is another meaning to the question. Maybe this person wants you to do the thing they're asking about. So for example, maybe last week I've told you I want you to see Ahmed or Fatma or whoever, and I ask you again today and I tell you, have you seen Fatma today? And it's in the beginning of the morning, and I know you haven't. So here I just want you to do it. It means go see her. There's still time. But here, when you use it in the past simple tense, the action is the time frame is over, right? So did you see Bob this morning? It's not morning anymore. So there's no chance to see her or to see him anymore. Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, Ibrahim, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm just.
There's a little bit of time traveling here, but so I think if you get a little review of the present perfect, these things will sort of clear up, because here they're sort of building up on previous information. So so it might help. It might help if you can, if tonight just Google present perfect without anything, just present perfect without the simple part, and just take a look at the examples. Most of them will make sense very, very easily to you, because these are sort of just details. They're adding details to previous information. So it might be a little confusing. All right. Okay. So so this means we can't use this week or today or these expressions with the past simple unless the time frame is over, or we're done with that time. Okay, so we can go back. And all right, let's see what we have. We don't have any time, but let's just check what we have for our next lesson. So, okay, next lesson, we will do some listening exercises, a little bit of help with listening, present perfect simple or present simple. Okay, so here they want us to spot the difference between they've told and they told, because the V is contracted and it's not stressed. So it's easy to miss. So they want us in exercise 5, they want us to get used to the difference between the small difference. I've met, I met. I've met, I met. So there's a V in the first one, there isn't in the second one. So we'll work a little bit on that. Then we have a nice, juicy exercise Now, number 6 is probably a summary of all the rules we were talking about today. Because in this kind of question, you have to decide whether to use the present perfect or whether to use the past simple, right? So you need to make the decision which one works in this situation. And this needs to be based on your understanding of the rules, of course. All right. If you want to do it just for fun, I would advise you to do number 6 as homework. I'll send you a copy of the book, Brahim. I haven't done that. Just send me a message on the page's inbox, okay? This way I'll have your name and I can send you links and I can send you anything relevant to the course. On Dr. Sue's English, my teaching page. I'll send the link to you, okay?
Okay.
Because this way I can send it directly to you. I think maybe it's easier than using WhatsApp.
Okay.
All right. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed your first lesson, Ibrahim. And if you're interested in continuing with the Intermediate A, just let me know. I'll send you the book tonight to take a look at it. So this way you can see this lesson and see the other lessons in the book. And at least today you have sort of a rough understanding of the level of the book, at least. All right?
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Okay, and thank you, Naha, for the energy and enthusiasm, and I'll see you next time. Also, don't forget, Naha, the workbook. It would be good. You don't have to. I think you can even finish the workbook because we've covered all the points. Number 6 is just an exercise. So if you have time.
I tried to do 3A yesterday, but I stuck on the point with the been and gone, so.
Okay. So now maybe it's a little clearer. Now it would be easier today.
It's pretty clear, yeah.
All right, that's fantastic. That's good. So this means all you need to do is 3A, that's all. And tomorrow, hopefully, next lesson, we can continue, okay? So thank you for your time, both of you, and I'll see you next time, inshallah.
Thank you too.
Inshallah.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. مع السلامة.
Doctor.
Yes.
عشان نستخدم الابلكيشن قاعد أول مرة نستخدمه فكيف نقدر نتواصل معك على الكتاب؟
ما هذا هو الكتاب مش حنقدر نبعته لك هنا بالزوم، حنبعته لك بالفيسبوك. هذا ليش قلت لك ابعت لي مسج على الانبوكس نتاع صفحتنا، لان اغلب اسهل لي من غادي نبعث لك اللينك للرابط طول نبعته لك، عرفت؟
ايه Dr. Sue's English.
Dr. Sue's English ايوه.
Okay.
Just send me a letter, tell me I'm Ibrahim. خلاص وين نبدا معناه وصل للموضوع نقدر نبعث لك الستودنت بوك والورك بوك. اوكي. وبعدين انت قرر يعني مش معناها you have to join زي ما تقول غمه. No, it's up to you. You decide if you think this is
انا من الكتاب حنقدر نضبط روحي.
بالضبط. هذا ليش قلت لك بعث لي مسج باش نقدر نبعث لك الكتاب، تقدر تطلع على الدرس هذا تشوف حتى اللي فاتوك. I don't know if your mother sent you the videos too. مش عارف يعني بعثت لها
اليوتيوب لقيتهم قاعد تحاول تفتحهم.
المشكله غير اني متاخر شويه في الابلود نتاع الانترميديت ليسن، ما قدرتهمش كلهم مازال. يعني يعطيك فكره. طبعا بدايه الكتاب اسهل شويه، في يونت 3 زي ما تقول خشينا شويه في الغريق يعني. بس مع الكتاب تقدر تطلع على يونت 4 5 6. طبعا من يونت 7 ل 12 يبدا انترميديت بي معاش اي، عرفت؟ فمعناه تقدر تطلع على الموضوع يعني. شوف، فابعت لي مسج بس على الصفحه على الدكتور.
تو بعت لك انا.
alright good great خلاص تمام.
اوكي شكرا.
alright عفوا باي باي.
السلام عليكم.
مع السلامه. عليكم السلام.